ever wondered if the myths and legends of giants that echo through our oldest stories might be more than just tales? What if, buried beneath our feet, lies evidence of a past so astonishing it could change everything we thought we knew about human history? Well, hold on to your seats, because a recent discovery in a quiet corner of Germany might just be the key to unlocking that very mystery. Imagine a typical cornfield in Schleswig-Holstein, northern Germany. The sun is shining, the wind is rustling through the stalks. Pretty normal, right? But just a few feet below the surface, a team of archaeologists has just stumbled upon something that is anything but normal. They've unearthed a skeleton. But this isn't just any skeleton, it's colossal. The bones are remarkably well preserved, and their sheer size is breathtaking, pointing to a human of immense stature far beyond anything we consider normal today. This isn't just a scientific anomaly, it's like a forgotten saga coming to life. For centuries, Northern European folklore has been filled with stories of giants, powerful beings who roamed the earth long before recorded history. We've always dismissed them as myth, as creative explanations for strange rock formations or the rumblings of the earth. But what if those stories were memories, faded echoes of a real living people? This discovery throws a massive wrench into the established timeline of European prehistory. Initial carbon dating tests have yielded staggering results. These remains are thousands of years older than the earliest known Germanic tribes that settled the region. This isn't just pushing the timeline back a little, it's suggesting an entirely different group of inhabitants, a lost elder culture that we knew absolutely nothing about until now. Who were these people? Where did they come from? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, where did they go? The excavation site, which is now understandably under tight security, is a treasure trove of clues. It's not just about the giant skeleton itself. The way the individual was buried suggests complex and deliberate burial rites. This wasn't a random death. It was a ceremonial farewell. This points to a culture with beliefs, with a sense of the sacred, with a social structure. They weren't just large hominids, they were a society. And it gets even more fascinating. Alongside the skeleton, researchers are finding what appear to be rudimentary tools. But here's the kicker, the tools are scaled to match the individual's immense size. Imagine hand axes you'd need 2 hands to lift, or flint knives the size of small swords. This detail is crucial. It shows they were not only large, but also intelligent and resourceful, capable of shaping their environment to suit their needs. They were toolmakers, innovators, and masters of their domain. The scientific community is absolutely buzzing. This is the kind of discovery that happens once in a generation, if you're lucky. It forces us to ask bold new questions. Could this be the missing link that connects the mythology of giants directly to historical fact? We're talking about the Jotun of Norse sagas, the Fomorians of Irish lore, the giants that battled gods and heroes. Suddenly these figures might not be purely imaginary. They could be the cultural memory of this very people, their legacy preserved in the most enduring way possible, through stories passed down from one generation to the next. Think about the implications. Every ancient megalithic structure, every massive stone circle, every dolmen that we've struggled to explain, could they have been built by hands that matched their scale? Structures like Stonehenge or the Karnak stones have always presented an engineering puzzle. How did ancient, smaller-statured people move and lift these multi-ton stones? Perhaps the answer has been staring us in the face all along. They didn't. Perhaps the builders were, quite literally, giants. This discovery in Schleswig-Holstein could be the first piece of a much larger puzzle. It's a single data point, but it's a monumental one. It compels us to re-examine archaeological sites across Europe with a fresh perspective. Are there other, similar skeletons waiting to be found? Have we perhaps misidentified fragmentary remains in the past, dismissing them as anomalies or belonging to extinct megafauna when they were, in fact, human. The research is just beginning. Scientists will now undertake a painstaking analysis of the skeleton. DNA sequencing could reveal their genetic makeup, telling us how they relate to modern humans. Were they a distinct species, like Neanderthals, or a unique offshoot of Homo sapiens? Isotopic analysis of the bones and teeth can tell us about their diet and where they roamed. Were they hunters, gatherers? Did they practice agriculture? And what about their culture? The burial gives us a glimpse, but so much remains hidden. Were there settlements? What did their homes look like? Did they have a language? Art? The prospect of finding a settlement site, a village of giants, is almost too incredible to contemplate, but it's now a very real possibility that archaeologists will be searching for. This isn't just about rewriting history books. It's about expanding our understanding of what it means to be human. History has shown us time and again that the human family tree is far more diverse and complex than we ever imagined. We've shared this planet with other hominid species for most of our existence. The idea of sharing it with a culture of giants adds a profound and humbling new layer to our own story. It makes you look at the world differently, doesn't it? The ancient landscapes, the rolling hills, the deep forests of Europe, they now seem to hold a deeper secret. They were once the home of giants, and thanks to a team of dedicated archaeologists in a German cornfield, we are finally beginning to unearth their long-lost world. The age of myth is over. The age of discovery has just begun. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey into our forgotten past. What do you think this discovery means for history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on this and other amazing discoveries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Imagine a world frozen in time, buried for millennia beneath the relentless Siberian permafrost, a world of giants. Now picture a vast, wind-swept plain where dozens of these colossal creatures lie together, their immense skeletons almost perfectly preserved. This isn't a scene from a movie, it's a real-life discovery that's rewriting prehistory. Welcome to what scientists are calling the Siberian Mammoth Graveyard. In the heart of Siberia, an unprecedented archaeological dig has uncovered a breathtaking sight, a massive pit filled with the remains of dozens of woolly mammoths. This isn't your typical fossil find of a single isolated skeleton. The sheer concentration of these giants in one place has sent shockwaves through the scientific community, sparking a debate that could change everything we thought we knew about the Ice Age. What happened here? Tens of thousands of years ago? Was it a single catastrophic event that wiped out an entire herd in an instant? A brutal, sudden flash flood, perhaps? Or a treacherous mudflow that trapped them with no hope of escape? The way these skeletons are jumbled together, some with tusks locked in what looks like a final, desperate struggle, certainly points towards a sudden, violent end. You can almost feel the panic, the ground shaking, the desperate calls of these magnificent beasts echoing across the frozen tundra. Or could it be something even more mysterious? Some researchers are exploring the possibility that this wasn't an accident at all. Could this have been a sacred place, a ritualistic gathering spot for mammoths over generations? We know modern elephants visit the bones of their ancestors, displaying what appears to be a form of grief or respect. Is it possible their prehistoric cousins shared a similar complex social behavior? Perhaps this was a place where mammoths came to die, a final resting ground chosen by the herd itself. The idea is tantalizing, suggesting a level of social and emotional intelligence in these animals far beyond what we've previously imagined. And then there's the human element. We know our ancestors shared this landscape with the mammoths. They hunted them, used their bones and tusks to build shelters and create art. Could this graveyard be the result of a massive, coordinated hunt by early humans? A triumph of human ingenuity and cooperation that brought down dozens of these 10-ton giants at once. Finding evidence of human tools or butchery marks among the bones would be the smoking gun, transforming this site from a natural wonder into a testament to the prowess of our Paleolithic ancestors. A global team of paleontologists and archaeologists has descended upon this incredible site. Every day is a race against time, as the brief Siberian summer offers a small window to work. With painstaking care, they use delicate brushes and dental picks to excavate each bone, each tusk, each fragment of the past. It's like a giant prehistoric puzzle. Each piece they unearth is a clue. They analyze the sediment for pollen to reconstruct the ancient environment. They study the growth rings in the tusks to understand the mammoth's life histories. And they look for fractures and marks on the bones that might tell the story of their final moments. The preservation here is simply stunning. Because of the deep freeze, some remains might even contain fragments of soft tissue, skin, hair, maybe even DNA. The potential is mind-boggling. By sequencing the genetic material from these mammoths, scientists can learn about their herd structures, their family relationships, and their overall genetic health. Were they a thriving population right before they vanished, or were they already in decline, struggling with inbreeding and disease? This graveyard holds the answers locked within its frozen embrace. This isn't just about mammoths, it's a snapshot of a lost ecosystem. Alongside the mammoths, researchers are finding the remains of other Ice Age megafauna: woolly rhinos, cave lions, giant deer. It's a complete picture of a vibrant, dynamic world that vanished from the face of the Earth. Understanding why this world disappeared is one of the biggest questions in science. Was it the warming climate at the end of the last ice age that destroyed their habitat? Or was it the increasing pressure from human hunters, the overkill hypothesis? The Siberian Mammoth Graveyard is a unique laboratory to test these theories. By precisely dating the skeletons and the surrounding layers of Earth, scientists can build a timeline. Did the mammoth's disappearance coincide with a rapid climate shift? Or does it align perfectly with the arrival and expansion of modern humans in the region? The evidence unearthed here could finally settle this long-standing debate. It's a story of survival, extinction, and the complex interplay between life and its environment. As the sun sets over the Siberian steppe, casting long shadows across the excavation pit, the work continues. The air is filled with a sense of wonder and urgency. What other secrets are buried just inches below the surface? Each day brings the potential for a new discovery that could redefine our understanding of the Pleistocene epoch. This isn't just a collection of old bones, it's a narrative written in the earth, a story of giants who once ruled a frozen world, and we are just beginning to learn how to read it. The story of the Siberian Mammoth Graveyard is a powerful reminder that our planet has a deep and often mysterious history. It connects us to a time when the world was a very different place, challenging us to think about our own place in the long, unfolding story of life on Earth. As we piece together the fate of these magnificent creatures, we also learn more about the forces that shape our world today and the fragility of life itself. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey back in time. What do you think happened at the Mammoth Graveyard? A natural disaster, a ritual site, or a prehistoric hunting ground? Imagine walking through the breathtaking canyons of Zion National Park, surrounded by towering red cliffs carved by time. Now, picture looking up and seeing not just rock, but the fossilized bones of a colossal giant, a dinosaur that roamed this very land over 150 million years ago. It sounds like something from a movie, right? But this is the incredible real-life story unfolding right now in the heart of Zion. A team of paleontologists has just made a discovery that is shaking the world of science to its core. A nearly complete skeleton of a massive sauropod, found standing upright, entombed within a sheer canyon wall. This isn't just any dinosaur fossil. We're talking about a Leviathan, a long-necked plant-eater that would have dwarfed modern elephants. These sauropods were the largest animals to ever walk the earth, and finding one so perfectly preserved is like winning the paleontological lottery. Most skeletons we find are scattered, broken apart by scavengers or the relentless forces of geology over millions of years. But the Zion giant, as it's being nicknamed, is different. It's almost entirely intact, from its long, sweeping tail to its towering neck, offering an unprecedented snapshot of a single, magnificent creature. So how did this giant end up in such a bizarre, vertical grave? The leading theory is as dramatic as the discovery itself. Scientists believe the sauropod was caught in a cataclysmic, ancient flood. Picture a raging torrent of water and sediment, a flash flood of biblical proportions sweeping through this landscape. It likely caught the dinosaur, burying it rapidly and completely in a thick slurry of mud and sand. This quick burial is precisely what protected it from decay and scavengers, essentially mummifying it in stone. Over eons, that sediment hardened into the sandstone we see today, perfectly preserving the skeleton in its final, upright resting place. It's a geological miracle, a moment of ancient disaster frozen in time. This upright position presents an unbelievable challenge for the excavation team. How do you dig a 60-foot-tall dinosaur out of a vertical cliff face? You can't just use shovels and brushes. The paleontologists on site are having to become part engineer, part mountaineer. They're pioneering brand new techniques, combining cutting-edge scanning technology with rock climbing gear and heavy-duty stabilization equipment. It's a delicate and dangerous operation. Every piece of rock they remove has to be carefully planned to avoid damaging the priceless bones within, all while hanging hundreds of feet in the air. They're essentially performing surgery on the side of a mountain. Before they even touch a single bone, the team is using ground-penetrating radar and 3D laser scanners to create a complete digital model of the skeleton inside the rock. This allows them to map out the entire fossil, understand its position, and plan their extraction strategy with millimeter precision. It's a painstaking process, but it's crucial for ensuring this one-of-a-kind specimen can be recovered safely. Each block of sandstone containing a piece of the skeleton will be carefully jacketed in plaster and painstakingly lowered from the cliff face. It's a slow, methodical dance between science and nature. What can this discovery tell us? Everything. A complete skeleton is a biological treasure trove. Scientists will be able to study its anatomy in incredible detail, helping to answer long-standing questions about how these massive animals moved, breathed, and supported their own immense weight. By studying the bone structure and growth rings, they can determine the dinosaur's age, its health, and maybe even clues about injuries or diseases it suffered during its lifetime. This isn't just about one dinosaur. It's a window into the biology of an entire group of prehistoric giants. Furthermore, the rock surrounding the fossil is just as important as the bones themselves. This matrix, as scientists call it, contains a wealth of information about the late Jurassic environment. Geologists and paleobotanists are analyzing the sediment for fossilized pollen, seeds, and even the remains of smaller animals and insects that were caught in the same flood. This will help them reconstruct the entire ecosystem of Zion 150 million years ago. What plants grew here? What other creatures lived alongside this sauropod? The Zion giant isn't just a skeleton, it's the centerpiece of a prehistoric diorama, offering a glimpse into a lost world. The discovery is already causing a huge stir in the scientific community. Experts from around the globe are calling it one of the most significant paleontological finds of the 21st century. It has the potential to rewrite what we know about sauropods in North America. Was this a known species, like a Brachiosaurus or Diplodocus? Or could it be a completely new species, a true giant of Zion, unknown to science until now? Only once the bones are fully excavated and studied will we know for sure. The anticipation is immense. For the rest of us, this discovery is a powerful reminder of the deep history hidden just beneath our feet. Zion National Park, a place visited by millions for its scenic beauty, is now also a gateway to the deep past, a place where you can literally see the titans of a forgotten age emerging from the stone. It connects us directly to a world that feels like fantasy, but was very, very real. It sparks the imagination and inspires a sense of wonder about our planet's incredible history. The work is far from over. The excavation is expected to take several years, followed by years more of careful cleaning, preparation, and study in the lab. But the team is documenting every step of the process, sharing their progress with the world. This is science in action, a thrilling adventure of discovery happening in real time. It's a testament to the curiosity and perseverance of these scientists who are working tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the Zion giant. What an incredible story! From a catastrophic flood millions of years ago to a high-tech excavation today, the journey of this single dinosaur is absolutely captivating. It reminds us that there are still so many mysteries waiting to be unearthed, so many giants sleeping in the rock, waiting for us to find them. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey into the prehistoric past. If you found this as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the frontiers of science and discovery. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this a new species? What other secrets do you think the canyons of Zion might be hiding? Until next time, keep exploring. Beneath the turquoise waves of the Great Barrier Reef lies a secret that defies easy explanation. A world away from the sun-drenched shores, we're descending into the blue abyss, chasing whispers of a structure known as the Triton's Monument. The water pressure builds, the light fades, and a colossal silhouette begins to form in the distance. It's not a natural formation. As we draw closer, the sheer scale is breathtaking. Columns, like the bones of an ancient temple, rise from the sandy seabed, their surfaces completely encrusted with a living tapestry of coral. This is no ruin from a lost city. It's something else entirely, a deliberate creation placed here in the deep. This is the Museum of Underwater Art, or MOUA, an incredible project that blends art, science, and conservation. The structure we're exploring is one of its most enigmatic installations, a place where human creativity meets the relentless artistry of the ocean. Every inch of its surface is a riot of color and life. Schools of brilliant yellow butterfly fish dart between the pillars, while a massive placid grouper eyes us from the shadows of an archway. The monument wasn't built to be static. It was designed to evolve, to be claimed by the reef itself. It's a living sculpture, a nursery for new coral growth and a haven for marine life seeking shelter in this vast, open expanse of the Coral Sea. As we navigate through its submerged courtyards, the true purpose becomes clear. This isn't just art for art's sake. It's a powerful statement about our relationship with the ocean. The figures and forms integrated into the structure are cast from real people, local custodians, and marine scientists, their ghostly shapes now providing a foundation for new life. Each polyp of coral that latches on, each anemone that finds a home here, is a small victory in the face of climate change and coral bleaching. This monument is a symbol of hope, a proactive effort to help the Great Barrier Reef regenerate and thrive. It's a reminder that we are not separate from nature, but an integral part of its story, with the power to either harm or to heal. Look here, clinging to this archway. These are juvenile corals, tiny specks of life that have found a foothold on the pH-neutral concrete. Scientists are studying how these artificial reefs can accelerate coral recovery, providing a stable substrate in areas where the natural reef has been damaged. It's a fascinating experiment in assisted evolution. The structure's design is intentional, creating complex currents and eddies that attract plankton, which in turn feeds the corals and attracts small fish. This then brings in larger predators, and before you know it, a complete self-sustaining ecosystem has been born from what was once a barren patch of sand. We're witnessing the birth of a new reef, a process that would normally take centuries, happening right before our eyes. Drifting past a series of human-like statues, their faces now obscured by a delicate latticework of Gorgonian sea fans, a profound sense of peace settles over us. The silence down here isn't empty. It's filled with the subtle sounds of the reef, the crackle of snapping shrimp, the crunch of parrotfish grazing on algae. It's a symphony of life. The statues seem to be watching over this new world, silent guardians of the deep. They represent humanity's promise to the ocean, a commitment to become better stewards of this blue planet. The artist, Jason DeCaires-Taylor, designed this place to make us think, to challenge our perception of the ocean as just a resource, and to see it as a fragile, living entity deserving of our protection and our awe. But there's a more mystical element to this place. Winding its way around the central structure is the skeleton of a colossal sea serpent. Its vertebrae, each the size of a dinner plate, curve through the temple grounds, its massive skull resting near the entrance. This isn't a real fossil, of course, but another part of the sculpture. It evokes a sense of ancient mythology, of leviathans and sea gods. It taps into that primal part of our imagination that has always been captivated by the mysteries of the deep. What legends would be born from a place like this if it were discovered 1,000 years from now? It feels like we've stumbled upon the ruins of Atlantis, a testament to a forgotten civilization that worshipped the ocean's great beasts. And here, at the heart of the monument, is the most striking feature of all: a colossal skull. Not human, but that of some immense horned beast. It rests on a pedestal, like a sacred relic in a flooded cathedral. Corals have grown over it like jewels, and a vibrant orange sea fan has sprouted from an eye socket, giving it a strangely beautiful, almost psychedelic appearance. This is the Triton skull, the centerpiece that gives the monument its name. It's a powerful, almost intimidating sight. It serves as a memento mori, a reminder of the fragility of even the most powerful creatures. In a world where so many marine giants are facing extinction, this sculpture is a somber, beautiful tribute to the titans we stand to lose if we fail to act. Exploring this underwater gallery is a deeply moving experience. It forces you to confront the beauty and the vulnerability of our oceans in a way that no documentary or textbook ever could. You are completely immersed, a visitor in a world that is both alien and intimately connected to our own. The way the light filters down, creating shifting patterns of blue and green, the way the fish move with such effortless grace, it's hypnotic. This monument isn't just an ecological project, it's a spiritual one. It's a place for reflection, a deep-sea sanctuary that connects us to the rhythm of the ocean and reminds us of our responsibility to protect it for future generations. As our air supply runs low, it's time to begin our slow ascent back to the world of sun and sky. Looking down one last time, the Triton's monument seems to shrink back into the blue, its secrets once again veiled by the water. but the impression it leaves is permanent. It's a powerful symbol of collaboration, where art and science have come together to create something truly extraordinary. It proves that we can build structures that don't just take from the environment, but give back to it, fostering life and creating beauty in the process. This isn't a tomb for a dying reef. It's a cradle for a new one, a beacon of optimism shining from the depths. What we've seen today is more than just a dive site. It's a living story of resilience, innovation, and hope. The Triton's monument and the Museum of Underwater Art are pioneering a new way to think about marine conservation. If this journey into the deep has inspired you, please share this video with others who love the ocean. The more people who know about these incredible efforts, the more support we can build for protecting our planet's most vital ecosystem. Have you ever looked at the vast, unending sands of the Sahara and wondered what secrets lie buried beneath? For centuries, the desert has guarded its mysteries, but today, we're on the brink of a revelation that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about history, mythology, and even our own origins. I'm talking about a discovery so monumental, so reality-shattering, that the world is holding its breath. Deep within the iconic rolling dunes of Chebbi in Morocco, a place famous for its fiery orange sands and breathtaking beauty, an international team of archaeologists has unearthed something that simply shouldn't exist. It's not another Roman outpost or a forgotten Berber settlement. It's the colossal fossilized skeleton of a humanoid figure, but with one impossible feature, a massive pair of wings. The initial discovery was almost accidental. A geological survey team, using ground-penetrating radar to map subterranean water sources, detected a massive, unusual anomaly just beneath the surface. The readings were so strange, so unlike any known geological formation, that they had to investigate. What they found has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Imagine the scene. Under the relentless Moroccan sun, brushing away layers of sand that have held this secret for untold millennia, the team slowly revealed the impossible. A ribcage so large you could stand inside it. A humanoid skull, weathered by time but unmistakably familiar in its structure, yet proportionally immense. And then, the most staggering part of all, extending from the shoulder blades, the enormous, intricate bone structures of what can only be described as wings. The scale of this being is almost incomprehensible. Early estimates suggest it stood over 50 feet tall, with a wingspan that could stretch twice that length. This isn't just a large hominid fossil, this is a giant with wings. Suddenly, the ancient myths from across the globe, the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, the stories of angels and fallen beings, they don't sound like myths anymore, do they? They sound like memories. Right now, the Chebbi site, affectionately being called the Angel's Fall by the research team, is a hive of activity, but it's under a tight lockdown. The Moroccan military has secured a wide perimeter around the excavation. No unauthorized personnel, no journalists, just a dedicated team of the world's best paleontologists, archaeologists, and geneticists working under immense pressure and secrecy. So what are they seeing? From the limited information being leaked, we know the skeleton is remarkably complete. The bones are fossilized, dark and dense, suggesting immense age. We're not talking thousands of years, we're talking potentially hundreds of thousands, if not more. Dating this creature is the #1 priority. Is it from a lost chapter of human evolution, or is it something else entirely? Something not from here? Drones are constantly in the air, buzzing over the site like metallic dragonflies. They're not just for security, they are creating a meticulous, centimeter by centimeter 3D digital model of the entire skeleton and its position. This allows researchers from partner universities around the world to analyze the find in virtual reality without ever stepping foot in the desert. It's a fusion of ancient bones and cutting-edge technology. One of the lead paleontologists, Dr. Aris Thorne, in a brief sanctioned statement, could barely contain his excitement. He said, and I quote, "We have spent our lives piecing together the puzzle of the past from fragments. A jawbone here, a femur there. This is not a fragment, this is the whole story, and it's a story none of us were prepared for. Every textbook on my shelf is now obsolete." The implications are staggering. For biology, it challenges our understanding of evolution and the physical limits of biomechanics. How could a creature this large, with this bone density, ever achieve flight? The muscle attachments on the wings and chest are apparently enormous, suggesting power beyond any known terrestrial animal. The aerodynamics are a complete mystery. For history and anthropology, it's a bombshell. Every culture has legends of giants and winged beings. The Bible speaks of the Nephilim, the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men. Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki, powerful beings who came from the sky. Greek myths tell of Titans. Could this be the first physical evidence that these weren't just stories to explain thunderstorms or natural disasters, but a distorted folk memory of a species we once shared the planet with? The location in Chebbi is also significant. The Sahara wasn't always a desert. Thousands of years ago, it was a lush green savanna with vast lakes and rivers. Could this green Sahara have been the habitat of this colossal creature? Did it soar through skies that are now just an endless, empty blue? Of course, with a discovery this profound, there comes a wave of skepticism and alternative theories. Some are suggesting it's an elaborate hoax, a paleo-piltdown for the 21st century. But the level of expertise on site and the military involvement make a simple hoax highly unlikely. The resources being poured into this are immense. Others are leaning into more esoteric explanations. They see this as definitive proof of ancient alien visitation. Was this a visitor from another world who perished here long ago? The non-human yet humanoid features are fueling this theory intensely. The internet is already ablaze with speculation, connecting the dots between this find and other unexplained phenomena, from pyramid construction to the Nazca lines. One of the most exciting avenues of research will be the search for DNA. Extracting genetic material from fossils this old is incredibly difficult, almost impossible. But technology is advancing every day. If they could sequence even a fraction of this creature's genome, it could answer the biggest question of all. How does it relate to us? Is it a distant, gigantic cousin on the hominid family tree, or is its DNA structure something completely alien to our planet? Imagine the moment they get those results back. It could be the single most important piece of data humanity has ever collected. It could prove once and for all that we are not alone, or that our own past is far grander and more mysterious than we ever dared to dream. As the team continues their painstaking work, brushing away the sand grain by grain, the world watches. This is more than just a big skeleton. It's a key that could unlock the deepest secrets of who we are, where we came from, and what else might be out there. The sands of Chebbi have given up their giant, and in doing so, they may have changed the world forever. The story is just beginning to unfold, and we'll be here to bring you every new, earth-shattering detail as it emerges from the desert. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey into the unknown. What do you think this colossal discovery means for humanity? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you want to stay on the cutting edge of discoveries that challenge everything, imagine a vast, sun-scorched desert where the wind whispers tales of forgotten empires. This isn't just any desert. This is Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, a land where history is etched into every grain of sand. Today, we're journeying back thousands of years, peeling back the layers of time to witness a scene straight out of an epic. Here, amidst the endless dunes, a story of life, conflict, and the relentless march of time is being unearthed. In the foreground of this incredible landscape, we see something both somber and profound, the scattered skeletal remains of an ancient warrior. Who was this individual? A soldier defending his city-state? A raider seeking fortune? We may never know his name, but the objects found beside him speak volumes. Look closely. Beside the bones lies a rusted scimitar, its curved blade still hinting at the deadly grace it once possessed in a trained hand. Nearby, pieces of weathered armor, perhaps once gleaming under the Mesopotamian sun, are now pitted and scarred, not just by battle, but by millennia of burial. This single, poignant discovery is a powerful window into the past. It's a stark reminder of the brutal realities of ancient warfare. In an age of empires like Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria, conflict was a constant. These weren't just skirmishes, they were clashes of civilizations, fought for resources, for glory, and for the favor of the gods. The weapons they wielded, like this scimitar, were the pinnacle of technology for their time, forged from bronze and later iron. The armor, though crude by modern standards, was the difference between life and death on a chaotic battlefield. Every piece tells a part of the story. The scimitar's design, for example, is perfect for a slashing attack, often from horseback or a chariot. It suggests a dynamic and mobile form of combat. The armor fragments might reveal the status of the warrior. Was it simple leather or ornate bronze plate reserved for an elite guard? Each detail is a clue, a puzzle piece that archaeologists in the background are meticulously trying to fit together. You can see them, working with patient precision under the harsh sun, their brushes and tools gently clearing away the dust of ages. Their work is a slow, deliberate conversation with the past. But why was this warrior here, alone in the desert? Was this the site of a legendary forgotten battle, its other combatants long since lost to the shifting sands? Or was he a lone sentinel, a scout who met an untimely end far from home? The desolate landscape itself is a character in this drama. The unforgiving environment of Mesopotamia shaped its people and its conflicts. Battles were often fought over access to water, to fertile land along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Survival was a daily struggle, and this warrior's final resting place speaks to the harshness of the world he inhabited. The work of these archaeologists is more than just digging, it's an act of resurrection. They are not just uncovering bones and artifacts, they are unearthing stories, retrieving lost knowledge, and giving a voice to those who have been silent for millennia. Each find, no matter how small, adds a new sentence to the grand narrative of human history. The science behind this is fascinating. Techniques like carbon dating can help determine the age of the remains, while analysis of the bones can reveal information about the warrior's age, diet, and even injuries he sustained in life. Isotope analysis of his teeth could even tell us where he grew up, revealing incredible migration patterns. Let's consider the broader context. Warfare in Mesopotamia wasn't just about raw brutality, it was sophisticated. They developed siege tactics, employed organized military units, and documented their victories in detailed reliefs and cuneiform tablets. Kings like Sargon of Akkad and Ashurbanipal of Assyria weren't just rulers. They were commanders-in-chief, leading their armies to conquer vast territories. The spoils of war funded the construction of magnificent cities, ziggurats, and hanging gardens. This single fallen warrior was a pawn in that grand, violent, and creative game of empires. His sacrifice, whether in victory or defeat, was part of the foundation upon which civilization was built. Think about the psychological aspect. What was going through this warrior's mind in his final moments? Was he thinking of his family, his city, his king? Did he feel fear or a sense of duty? These are questions we can't answer with certainty, but they are what make archaeology so compelling. It connects us on a deeply human level to people who lived lives so different, yet in some ways so similar to our own. They felt loyalty, fear, and hope, just as we do. This skeleton is not just a scientific specimen, it's the remnant of a person, a life lived and lost. The field of Mesopotamian archaeology is constantly evolving. New technologies, like ground-penetrating radar and satellite imagery, allow researchers to identify potential sites without even breaking ground. These tools help them to map out ancient cities and battlefields buried beneath the sand, guiding their efforts to the most promising locations. It's a high-tech treasure hunt for knowledge. What we see here is the culmination of that process, the moment of discovery, where technology and painstaking human effort converge. This scene is a powerful metaphor for history itself. So much of our past is buried, obscured by time and neglect. It takes dedicated individuals, the archaeologists and historians, to bring it back into the light. And when they do, it's not always a story of kings and palaces. Sometimes it's the story of a single anonymous warrior whose final battle was fought against the desert itself. His lonely fate reminds us that history is made up of countless individual stories, most of which are never told. This find also raises important questions about preservation. Ancient sites like this are incredibly fragile, threatened by modern development, conflict, and climate change. The work being done here is a race against time to save our shared heritage before it vanishes forever. Every artifact recovered and studied is a victory for human knowledge, a piece of our collective memory secured for future generations. As we look one last time at this poignant scene, the warrior's remains, his rusted sword, the diligent researchers under the vast desert sky, we are reminded of the fragility of life and the endurance of history. The empires of Mesopotamia have long since crumbled to dust. Their great cities are now mounds in the desert, but the stories, like this warrior's, are still there, waiting to be discovered. They remind us where we came from, the struggles and triumphs that shaped our world, and the endless human quest to understand our own past. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found this glimpse into ancient warfare as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the secrets of history. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think this warrior's story was? Until next time, stay curious. Imagine a city of legends, a beacon of knowledge and culture, ruled by the iconic Cleopatra. Now, imagine that same city swallowed by the sea, its secrets buried beneath the waves for over 1,000 years. This isn't a fantasy tale. This is the true story of the sunken royal quarters of Alexandria, Egypt. For centuries, the magnificent palaces, temples, and libraries of ancient Alexandria were thought to be lost forever, just whispers in historical texts. Earthquakes and tidal waves in the 4th and 8th centuries plunged a huge part of this legendary city into the Mediterranean. The world of Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, and Mark Antony vanished, becoming a myth. But what if I told you that this myth was real, and that we can now explore its breathtaking ruins? Join me today as we dive deep into the waters off the coast of modern Alexandria to uncover one of the most significant underwater archaeological discoveries of all time. We'll swim through the submerged palaces of the Ptolemaic kings and queens, come face to face with colossal statues of pharaohs and gods, and piece together the story of a golden age that was reclaimed by the ocean. This is the story of Alexandria, reborn from its watery grave. The modern quest to find ancient Alexandria's lost quarter began in the 1990s. French underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio and his team, armed with cutting-edge technology and a passion for history, started to systematically survey the seabed of Alexandria's eastern harbor. They were chasing rumors and ancient accounts, hoping to find a fragment, a hint of the city's glorious past. What they found exceeded everyone's wildest dreams. Using sophisticated tools like side-scan sonar and nuclear magnetic resonance magnetometers, they mapped the sea floor, revealing anomalies that didn't belong. These weren't natural rock formations. They were the outlines of buildings, of streets, of a lost city. It was the breakthrough of a lifetime. The team had located the royal quarter, including the fabled island of Antirodos, where Cleopatra's palace once stood. The first dives were surreal. As the silt and sand were gently brushed away, history emerged. Enormous granite blocks, parts of massive columns, and intricately carved sphinxes materialized from the gloom. It was like stepping back in time. Divers found themselves swimming through the very halls where Cleopatra entertained Roman generals, where great minds debated philosophy, and where the fate of empires was decided. The myth was becoming a tangible reality, and the world was about to see the splendor of Alexandria once more. Picture this. You're descending into the cool, blue-green waters of the Mediterranean. The bustling sounds of the modern city of Alexandria fade away, replaced by the gentle hush of the sea. As your eyes adjust to the underwater light, colossal shapes begin to emerge from the murk. You're not just looking at rocks, you're looking at history itself. One of the most jaw-dropping discoveries was the sheer scale of the artifacts. We're talking about giant 13-foot-tall statues of Ptolemaic kings and queens, depicted as Egyptian pharaohs, perfectly preserved by their saltwater tomb. Imagine the effort it took to carve these from single blocks of Aswan granite and then to transport them hundreds of miles to Alexandria. To see them lying on the seabed, gazing up with stoic stone eyes, is an experience that connects you directly to the grandeur of that era. Divers also uncovered an astonishing collection of sphinxes. More than 24 of these mythical creatures were found, some bearing the likeness of Ptolemy Thund, Cleopatra's own father. These weren't just decorative. They lined the sacred processional ways to the grand temples, acting as silent guardians. Floating past these serene, powerful figures, you can almost feel the spiritual energy of the place, a sanctuary where Egyptian and Greek cultures beautifully intertwined. But perhaps the most personal and evocative discoveries are the smaller, everyday objects, things like ceramic jars, delicate jewelry, and hundreds of ancient coins, each one a tiny snapshot of life in the bustling port. These items tell the human story of Alexandria. They remind us that this wasn't just a city of gods and rulers, but a home to merchants, sailors, scholars, and families. Finding a simple oil lamp on the seabed makes you think, who was the last person to light this? What were their hopes and dreams before the cataclysm struck? Among the most significant structures identified was the temple complex dedicated to the gods Isis and Serapis. Here, divers found the foundations of massive pylons and the remains of a shrine, littered with offerings. They also discovered a colossal stone head, believed to represent Caesarion, the son of Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. This find is incredibly poignant. Caesarion was the last pharaoh of Egypt, executed as a boy. His submerged statue is a powerful symbol of a dynasty's tragic end. Another incredible area is the island of Antirrhodos, the location of Cleopatra's own palace. The team mapped its foundations and found remnants of mosaic floors and towering red granite columns. They even found what they believed to be the shipwreck of a Roman ceremonial barge, dating right to Cleopatra's time. It's easy to imagine her, standing on her palace balcony, looking out over this very harbor, completely unaware that the ground beneath her feet was destined to sink beneath the waves. Every single object brought to the surface or documented on the seabed helps us piece together the puzzle of this lost world. From massive architectural elements to the smallest personal trinkets, each artifact is a word in a story that was silenced for 16 centuries. The work is slow, painstaking, and requires incredible care. Lifting a 5-ton statue from the ocean floor is a monumental task, requiring a blend of engineering, archaeology, and a deep respect for the past. So, what happened to all these incredible treasures? While many of the larger artifacts remain on the seabed, forming a unique underwater museum, some have been carefully raised and conserved. They are now displayed in museums around the world, allowing millions of people to witness the splendor of Ptolemaic Egypt. Seeing a colossal statue of a pharaoh still bearing traces of its journey under the sea is a truly humbling experience. The sunken city of Alexandria isn't just a collection of old stones. It's a powerful reminder of the cyclical nature of history, of greatness, of loss, and of rediscovery. It shows us that even when a civilization seems to vanish completely, its echoes can still be found, waiting to be heard. The work of Frank Goddio and his team has given us a priceless gift, a window into a lost world, a direct connection to the last queen of Egypt and her legendary city. The story of Alexandria is far from over. New discoveries are still being made, and each one adds another layer to our understanding of this incredible civilization. It's a testament to human curiosity and our unyielding desire to connect with our past. The sunken palaces and temples may have been lost to the sea, but thanks to modern explorers, their story will now be told for generations to come. Imagine you're a fisherman, casting your nets into the wild, windswept waters of the North Atlantic. The Faroe Islands, a remote archipelago between Iceland and Norway, is your home. Life here is dictated by the sea. But on one fateful day, near the dramatic, rugged cliffs of Colossal Island, a local crew was about to haul in a catch that would change history. The winch strained, the boat groaned. This was no ordinary catch. It was impossibly heavy, a dead weight that fought against the powerful machinery. As the net broke the churning surface, the crew stared in disbelief. It wasn't a record-breaking haul of fish. It was something colossal, a tangled mass of seaweed, old fishing gear and bones. Massive, ancient bones. They had netted a ghost. The ghost of the North Sea, they called it, a name that perfectly captured the eerie, magnificent sight. The discovery sent ripples far beyond the small fishing community. Soon, marine archaeologists and paleontologists from the University of the Faroe Islands were on the scene, their excitement palpable. What was this giant creature that had haunted the depths for so long? Initial assessments are staggering. The remains could belong to a previously unknown species of baleen whale, one of exceptionally large size. Or perhaps something even older, a marine mammal long thought extinct, a relic from a forgotten age. The skeleton itself tells a story. It's deeply weathered, covered in unique mineral deposits, suggesting it had rested on the seafloor not for years or even decades, but potentially for centuries. This isn't just a big skeleton, it's a time capsule. The ghost of the North Sea has become a pivotal archaeological puzzle. Every inch of it is now under intense scrutiny. Scientists are meticulously studying the bones to understand its biology, its size, and its place in the evolutionary tree. Was it a gentle giant like today's baleen whales, or something else entirely? The sheer scale of the vertebrae, the sweep of the ribs, it all points to an animal of immense power and presence. But the investigation goes deeper. The sediment clinging to the bones holds microscopic clues about the ocean environment it lived in. Pollen, tiny fossils, and chemical signatures can help reconstruct the North Atlantic of the past. What were the water temperatures like? What did this creature eat? By analyzing this ancient mud, we can paint a picture of an ecosystem that has long since vanished. Even the old fishing gear it was tangled in has become part of the story. Researchers are carefully examining the types of nets and ropes, trying to date them. This could reveal information about the history of fishing in these waters and, more poignantly, how humanity's path has intersected with these magnificent animals over the centuries. Was this giant a victim of early fishing practices, or did it become entangled long after its death? The location of the find, near Colossal, is also significant. The powerful currents and unique underwater geography of the Faroe Islands may have acted as a natural trap, preserving the skeleton in a way that wouldn't have been possible elsewhere. It's a perfect storm of geological and biological factors that allowed this ghost to wait patiently for us to find it. This discovery is more than just an academic curiosity. It forces us to reconsider what we know about the ocean's history. We often think of the deep sea as a final frontier, but this find reminds us that it's also a museum holding secrets of our planet's past. The ghost of the North Sea could redefine our understanding of prehistoric marine life in this isolated corner of the world. Imagine the North Atlantic teeming with creatures we can't even conceive of. This skeleton is the first piece of evidence, a tangible link to that lost world. It sparks the imagination. What other giants lie waiting in the deep? What other ghosts are preserved in the dark, cold waters, holding on to the secrets of a bygone era? The work has just begun. DNA analysis, isotopic dating, and 3D modeling will all be employed to bring this creature back to life, at least digitally. The goal is to create a complete picture, to know its name, to understand its life, and to learn why it disappeared. For the Faroese people, whose culture is so deeply intertwined with the ocean, this is a profound discovery. It's a reminder that the sea they know so well still holds immense mysteries. It's a story of chance, of science, and of the enduring power of the natural world. A routine fishing trip turned into a journey back in time, all thanks to the ghost of the North Sea. The answers it holds could change textbooks and inspire a new generation of ocean explorers. It's a testament to the fact that even in the 21st century, our planet still has incredible secrets to reveal. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey of discovery. What do you think this colossal creature could be? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love stories about the mysteries of the deep, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're delving into a complex and often misunderstood chapter of Chinese history, the practice of foot binding. For roughly 1,000 years, this custom shaped the lives, bodies, and destinies of countless women. It was a practice that involved breaking and tightly binding the feet of young girls, a painful process aimed at creating what were known as lotus feet. So, what exactly were lotus feet, and why were they considered desirable? Imagine a foot, reshaped to be incredibly small, ideally no more than 3 inches long. This was the golden lotus, the most coveted size. The process was grueling. It typically began when a girl was between the ages of 4 and 9, when her bones were still pliable. The 4 smaller toes were broken and folded under the sole. Then the arch was forcibly broken and bent upwards, creating a deep cleft. Long strips of cloth, sometimes up to 10 feet long, were wrapped tightly around the foot to hold it in this new, artificial shape. The pain was, as you can imagine, immense and lasted for years. The bindings had to be regularly removed, the feet cleaned, and then rebound even tighter. This process was usually overseen by the girl's mother or another female elder in the family. It was seen as a mother's duty, a necessary act to secure a better future for her daughter. Infections were a constant danger, and some girls even died from complications. But for those who survived, the result was a permanently altered foot, making walking incredibly difficult and painful. But why would anyone endure this? The origins of foot binding are shrouded in legend, with one popular story pointing to a 10th century court dancer named Yao Niang, who supposedly bound her feet to resemble new moons while dancing for the emperor. Her performance was so captivating that other court ladies began to imitate her, and the practice slowly trickled down from the elite to the masses. By the Song dynasty, foot binding had become a firm status symbol. It was a clear, visible sign that a family was wealthy enough that their daughters didn't need to work in the fields. A woman with bound feet was considered refined, disciplined, and most importantly, marriageable. Tiny feet became the ultimate standard of beauty and femininity. A woman's gait, a delicate and swaying walk known as the Lotuż gait, was considered alluring. The tiny decorated shoes she wore, called lotus shoes, were objects of fascination and aesthetic appreciation. For a woman, her bound feet were her social currency. They were the key to marrying into a good family. Matchmakers would first ask about a girl's feet, not her face. A girl with beautifully bound feet could elevate her family's social standing through marriage. Conversely, a girl with large, unbound feet might be considered coarse and unmarriageable, destined for a life of labor. The practice created a world where a woman's mobility, and therefore her independence, was severely curtailed. She was largely confined to the home, dependent on her husband and family. This physical limitation was seen as a marker of chastity and subservience, qualities highly valued in the patriarchal society of the time. The practice wasn't universal across all of China or all social classes. Among some ethnic groups, like the Manchu, who founded the Qing dynasty, foot binding was actively resisted and even outlawed for their own people, though they couldn't stamp it out among the Han Chinese majority. Likewise, in many rural, working-class families, foot binding was simply impractical. They needed their daughters to be able to work. In these communities, you might find a family binding the feet of their eldest daughter to improve her marriage prospects, while younger daughters remained unbound to help with farm work. It was a complex and pragmatic decision, weighing tradition and social ambition against economic reality. As China entered the 19th and early 20th centuries, attitudes began to change. Christian missionaries in China were horrified by the practice and campaigned against it, viewing it as a barbaric custom. But the most powerful opposition came from within China itself. A new generation of Chinese intellectuals and reformers, influenced by Western ideas about health, equality, and national strength, saw foot binding as a symbol of China's backwardness. They argued that a strong nation needed strong mothers, and strong mothers couldn't be women who were crippled by this archaic practice. Anti-foot binding societies were formed, and educated families began to pledge not to bind their daughters' feet or allow their sons to marry women with bound feet. The government of the newly formed Republic of China officially banned the practice in 1912. However, a custom that had lasted for a millennium couldn't be eradicated overnight. It lingered for decades in rural and isolated areas. The last reported cases of young girls having their feet bound occurred as late as the 1940s. Today, there are only a handful of elderly women still living who underwent foot binding as children. They are the last living links to this painful tradition. Their stories and the tiny embroidered lotus shoes they once wore serve as a powerful reminder of the extreme lengths societies will go to in the name of beauty and status, and the immense suffering that can result from rigid social norms. It is a testament to the resilience of these women and a crucial part of history we must not forget. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. It's a difficult topic, but understanding it helps us understand the broader story of women's lives in China and the long fight for liberation and equality.